And I think it's this one.
I think I'm gonna go grab a couple extra beers. Do you want anything?
No, I'm good.
Oh, you gotta go work, don't you?
Yeah, unfortunately.
With great beer and even better conversations. Welcome to Mind Hops, the podcast with more dad jokes than you can shake an angry fist at.
Sweet Lord, Martha, it's one of those bags again.
Don't step on it, Ted.
It's Coop again. I'll get you damn kids for this.
Broadcasting around the world from Ocala, Florida. Here are your hosts, Trenton Summers and Jack Brennan.
Damn, perfect timing.
Yeah, perfect timing. Looks like my internet's Cox is sucking cock right now for some reason.
Oh no.
No, it's fine. It's just showing me one bar on the stream, but I think we'll be okay. It'll
move
even out
really slowly.
Yeah, let me reach across here and do a little reach around.
No one will ever notice.
Yeah. Welcome. We're still here.
43.
Yeah.
Holidays
43.
are about over.
Yeah. We're gonna get back on track. The holidays and other scheduling issues, mostly almost all on my end. But now we're coming out of the holidays. We'll try to get back to a regular schedule and hopefully in the future.
Hopefully some new fun content.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think so. I think things are gonna even out and get a little bit more normal for us. So I'm excited to be back in the studio, even though I live in the studio technically.
You look at this every day.
I've been waiting to get another episode cranking. So we got a fun one here.
43, I think.
43. Wow.
Coming up on a year fast.
Man,
less than 10 episodes.
Our show's gonna be having a middle age crisis soon, I think. It might buy a motorcycle. I don't know.
We're gonna get a Corvette.
We gotta rein it in.
Oh yeah, what's up, Paulo? Thanks for having me.
What's up, man?
Beer today. This is a Yeti Cup, not a beer. Original Sin cider, Crimson Chaos,
nice.
cherry, apples, and mixed berry cider. I haven't tried it yet.
Hell yeah. Oh, you have it? That's tasty. I like a good cider.
That's got more flavor than most ciders.
Yeah, it's got a little tartness to it. It's good.
It tastes just like Welch's fruit snack.
Now that you mention it, yeah. It's like a liquefied adult fruit snack.
Dude. So I had a funny idea for a game we could play today, or maybe another day, because I didn't really have it prepared.
Yeah.
I literally came up with the idea when I was driving down your road.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's perfect. Our best ideas are like that.
There's a lot of cartoon characters. We're talking like adult cartoons, kids cartoons, stuff like that. And a lot of people don't know like full names of cartoon characters. I think it would be funny if you and I both came up with a list of 10 each.
Yeah.
And we quizzed each other to see if...
That would be fun. Another good game in the same vein we could do maybe a same day or a different day would be like mascots. Maybe some like mascots that people don't know actually have names. I've discovered things like that, you know what I mean?
Where like it's the Domino's guy.
Yeah. Well, the Noid, I think the Noid is a little bit more well known.
He is,
It could be, but like, I don't know, like... I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
I bet the Tricks Rabbit has a name that people
probably
don't know.
Yeah.
Should I look it up or should we save it?
Look it up.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Because I feel like there's a lot of mascots that are like that we call them something, but then they have their own name that you would just be like, what the fuck?
For real? The Tricks Rabbit's name is going to be like Francis
the Third or something like that. Yeah. St. Thomas the Third.
His name is Cinnabon.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What?
What the fuck?
Cinnabon?
Yeah, Cinnabon. Cinnabun.
What in the fuck? Is he
Cinnabon the bunny?
Is he a double agent? Is he really actually, that's crazy. I wonder if the leprechaun from
Lucky Charms
has a name. I bet he does.
I bet you he does too.
Lucky Charms.
I got it. Okay. Sir Charms.
Sir Charms?
That's on Wikipedia though.
Wow. That would be a fun game. I feel like we should probably stop diving.
This one says Waldo.
Waldo. I feel like sounds like he has to tell his neighbors that he moved into his neighborhood. Like Waldo.
He's I'm kind of on a list.
Me and Sir Cinnabon over here. We're not supposed to be around children.
It's an LC Leprechaun.
LC Leprechaun.
Yeah, Lucky.
Lucky Charms, but that's bullshit.
He's also referred to as Sir Charms. Today, he goes by the name we know him as best, which is Lucky.
I wonder if, see, now I feel like we're kind of ruining it, but I mean, there's tons of, we were talking about mascots, but, like Captain Crunch, I wonder if he has like a first name.
I think he does. We're gonna save him though.
Okay, all right.
Just in
I like
case.
that. Yeah.
But yeah, I think we should put together a list of 10 each.
It'd be fun, like we know Count Chocula, but I wonder if the other movie cereal monsters.
Count Chocula might have a regular name.
That's true.
Count Chocula.
That's true. Boo Berry. Maybe his name's Casper. Or Cusper.
Cusper?
Slightly different.
Maybe it's Cinnabon. For no fucking reason.
Like the elves, the cookie elves, I think they all have names, right?
Yeah, they do.
They're different from the cereal elves, right?
Yeah.
They have names too. Snap, Crackle,
You're talking
Pop.
about the Keebler elves?
Yeah, Keebler elves.
Yeah, they have different names.
And then you have the Rice Krispie dudes. Who do you think would win in a fight? The Keebler elves or the Rice Krispie elves?
Oh man, the Keebler elves.
There's
dude.
more of them probably, right?
I think so. I feel like the Rice Krispie guys are like about 3 times their size.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Maybe they're
tall
really
they are.
fragile though. Like their bones are probably fragile.
Let me look up some metrics real quick.
Because their name's Snap, Crackle, and Pop, I think. So I think they're...
Maybe that's just because they're old.
I think they have some sort of joint problems. Wait a minute, what if they have like MRS or what is that called? Like where you have your ligaments give away with age.
I'm going to Wikipedia here, so
Yeah.
we're gonna
Deep
take all
dive.
this with a grain of salt.
We're talking about the Marvel, cinematic universe. We need to get like a serial universe going.
Cinematic.
That reminds me, we have talked about a serial episode. We should squeeze the mascot thing into the serial episode.
That's a
Because we
good
should do a
idea.
power ranking of so we're talking about MCU characters, like the serial mascots, like where their power rankings would be. I think we've already discussed who we think would be pretty top tier.
Yeah,
on the power.
I know who I believe on the serial spectrum.
But I feel like there's some cosmic characters that might trump him that we haven't thought about.
Gotcha.
Maybe some off-brands or
You're
something
right.
like that.
some one of the ones that's on like the bags of cereal.
It's like the moon or something.
He looks like he came out of prison like 3 days ago.
Yeah,
and he has like a shank in his back pocket.
Yeah. I'm thinking like a Thanos or like a fucking who's the guy? Galacticus,
Sorry, my microphone is not cooperating.
So we'll just skim over this because this is an old movie, but
Cooperated.
I just thought I would mention that I have finally seen the new Venom movie. I never saw the first one, but I did see Let There Be Carnage.
And you also haven't seen the second Spider-Man.
I haven't. It's so weird, yeah. Well, at least that one I saw in order. I saw the first one.
No spoilers for No Way Home this
Yeah.
week, but hopefully next week Trent can get it in.
I did see another movie too that I guess it's a Netflix movie. I don't know if you've seen it.
Probably.
It's called the War of Tomorrow or something
No,
like
I
that.
haven't seen that.
Do you know what I'm talking about though? Have you heard of it?
It sounds familiar.
So
I'm gonna watch Don't Look Up.
Chris Pratt's in it. What's that one?
I don't know.
not
It's new. My dad told me to watch
Oh,
it.
is that Netflix as well?
Yeah.
I'll have to check that
So
one out.
you and I can both watch that
Yeah.
this week. That'll be our homework this time.
Okay. If you get a chance, let me make sure I'm getting
Matrix.
the name. Maybe. Yeah. I was gonna say the Tomorrow War. Yeah, it's called the Tomorrow War. That's on Netflix as well, and it's actually got. Speaking of No Way Home, which I haven't seen, I'm assuming this person's probably in the movie. J.K. Simmons, aka Jonah Jameson, the guy who played.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was in the new ones or not, but the older ones. He's in that movie, in the No Way, or the Tomorrow War. Got Chris Pratt, J.K. Simmons.
Did we just talk about Chris Pratt last week?
We did. I will say the movie was, it's a time jump movie, right? For what it was pretty interesting. I'll say that. It was unique because you kind of see a lot of movies where there's time travel involved and they're all pretty kind of follow the same kind of shtick and the same gimmicks. You want me to tell you like the premise of the movie? Because they explain it pretty early in the movie. So basically, the very beginning of the movie, you have Chris Pratt. He's, I believe, a high school science teacher, and he's trying to get this like government job or something.
Sounds like Breaking Bad, man.
Yeah, so he's hanging out at, I don't know if it's a Christmas party. It might be a Christmas party at his family's house, and they're blah blah blah. And he gets this phone call and he tells his wife, "I gotta step outside. This is gonna be life changing." He gets the phone call, and then of course they tell him, well, we picked somebody else. So he's really disappointed. He's bummed, and he's got to go back in the house at this party and like, you know, doesn't really want to tell his wife that he didn't get the job because he pretty much hyped them all up. Anyway, so he sits down on the couch. They're watching this football game, soccer game, actually.
So football.
Football. It's a soccer game, which I thought was kind of weird because in America, soccer is not as popular, and they're watching it at a party.
Soccer,
it's getting more popular now.
Growing, yeah.
Okay,
soccer is the most popular sport in the world.
In America,
it's growing currently.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's like some World Cup or something, and this is from somebody who played soccer growing up, and I don't enjoy watching it, but so they're playing soccer, and this guy's going on the field. He's about to kick a field goal. Everyone's getting excited, and then you just see this big like fucking like cosmic like. Almost like a mini Big Bang in the middle of the field, and you see all these soldiers like appear out of nowhere. They have the guns, and they're like, "Yeah, we came from the future. I believe it's 30 years in the future." And they're like, "Aliens have basically at this point have exterminated all of human life, and we need your help to win this war." So they're actually recruiting people from the present time to go 30 years into the future.
Could you imagine being drafted 30 years into
and that's what they do. They draft.
I'd be so pissed, bro.
Yeah. I know. So that's what, and anyway, that's how it happens. I'm not going to spoil the half end, but they start a draft. And the interesting thing is they go through this test, and they put this armband on them that apparently, and they explain it in the movie kind of about they can only jump 30 years. And they put them
in these camps. And
that's the sequel. But they can only jump 30 years into the future. Like, then they kind of explain the reasoning. It's kind of shitty reasoning. They basically just say, you know, the aliens have fucked everything up, and we have this base in the middle of the ocean, and it's held together. They literally say it's held together by like shoestrings and bubble gum. So we only have a way back and forth to 30 years this one time.
That's a good point, because they could just go back to before it started.
Right. And that's so Chris Pratt's character gets drafted, and they're sitting in a room with a bunch of other people that are drafted.
I didn't get the job, but I got another job.
Yeah, exactly. And then you hear people in the room are like, "Why didn't we just do this?" And then like the soldiers in the future, they can't even have bullshit reason, but at least they address it, because it's like any time travel movie. And then the soldiers
take off their masks and reveal that they're the aliens.
But the thing that was interesting about the movie is you realize they take him, and they take him into this room, and then they do all these biometric tests on him, and they put his arm in a machine that puts this like stamps this fucking wristband thing on him that's supposed to travel him. But then he realizes they're like, "Oh, you passed the whatever test," and he's like, "What does that mean?" She's like, "Well, that means you're qualified to do it or whatever," and then basically tell him he's been drafted, and they say that he's gonna die in 7 years in a car accident. Somehow they can tell that he's gonna die
7 years from when they picked him up.
Like 7 years from that moment, from when they pick him up.
Okay.
So the whole thing about, I guess they try to address it as a paradox. So everyone that they grab to send in the future is not alive in the future because they died earlier, which is kind of interesting.
And now they can't meet each other.
Right.
Yeah.
They kind of like, they have that, which I thought was a really interesting and cool idea, because it's like, you know, different. But then there's a couple points with anything with time travel movies. Like if you watch it, we'll talk about
something's gonna get.
Yeah, there's certain things that like make you scratch your head. Like what? Like so they went with this, but then anyway, I won't get into that. But that part isn't that big of a spoiler, because within the first little section when he goes in the future, you see the thing, they talk about it. But anyway, the thing that I thought was interesting too is the people that they send back, the soldiers, are very young, so they're in their 20s, so they haven't been born yet in the past either, so they wouldn't conflict.
That's crazy.
So it's kind of smart that they thought about that kind of shit, which makes it even more disappointing when they do something that is like, if they're worried about these paradoxes, there's a character that's from both timelines, and I'm like, a character that's very close to the Chris Pratt's character. I'm just gonna say it because it's not really a big of a spoiler. Let me just tell you, because it links.
Let me just tell you.
I'm talking around it.
Did you write this movie?
No, I'm talking around it, and then if you watch the movie, you're gonna pick up before it even gets to it. You're gonna be like, "Oh, this is what it is." So before he leaves, he has a wife and he has a daughter. His daughter is like 9 years old.
His wife and his daughter are the same person. That man's fucking his daughter.
His daughter is revealed to be like a colonel in the future that is giving him these direct orders. It's not something they reveal like at the end. It's like literally like the first little section of the movie when he's in the future. And I'm like, Why would they send him in a command with his daughter that he knows is a 9-year-old? Of course, she's an adult in the future, but I'm like, wouldn't that conflict with this whole paradox thing? You know, she's not meeting herself, but
they did all that work to avoid it.
I will say the very interesting thing is, this isn't going to spoil it because I've already told you, when they send him, they say he dies of in a car accident, 7 years. So and this is the thing, it's kind of a mind fuck. She's like talking to him he's asking her about his life after he died. Like, how was his wife and how was she? Because she had a childhood, you know, and then she remembers, she tells him exactly when she remembered he died, but he's in the future talking to his future daughter about events that he never would have been alive to know about. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Because he's talking to a future version of her that's already seen him dead and lived 30 years after he died, basically. I thought that was a really, like, weird, interesting idea. But it's a monster movie, and the aliens are actually pretty interesting. They're not intelligent aliens.
Cooler than, like, Independence Day aliens?
Yeah, for sure.
Really? I liked Independence Day.
So I never saw... I'd say the aliens in Independence Day were more intelligent. They had ships and stuff. These aliens are not. They're more feral. It's almost like I've never saw A Quiet Place. I hear it's pretty good, but it kind of reminds me of that, or like clickers. Almost like they're very instinctually just fucking devouring everything.
Yeah.
But the design is creepy and cool. But it's worth a watch. It's called The Tomorrow War. It's on Netflix now. But that one wasn't the best movie because there were certain things that I had hesitations. We can talk about if you watch it, but it was worth a watch for sure. And he had some cliches, like his father, J.K. Simmons, was like the estranged father that they hated. Like, he wasn't there for him as a kid, but he's this anti-government guy who has all this technology and ships and stuff. The end of the movie was pretty fucking silly, I will say. It was fun, but it was really fucking silly. But if you watch it, you'll agree. You'll be like, I was up with it until at the end, and I was like, this is fucking stupid.
You were like just wading through the bullshit.
Yeah. It just gets
like
really
a massive turd for you at the end there.
I wouldn't say it's a turd. It's just really goofy. Like the way the resolution for it is really kind of stupid. But anyway, it's worth a watch for sure. But
I'll probably give it a shot.
Yeah. It's one of those movies. If you got not much else to do, it's worth a go.
I just got a lot of PS5 games for Christmas. I got plenty to do right.
Yeah. I'm jealous.
Oh, and I re-downloaded The Witcher 3, which was a very bad move on my part.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I just watched the second season of that.
I'm not done with it yet. I'm on episode 4.
Okay. Yeah. And speaking of PS5, I've been on I have a website called like Hotstock, I think, that gives me alerts whenever they pop up. But the app is kind of bullshit because every time it's come up like on Amazon, like I've been going to the website and I've got Prime, because right now Amazon Prime has like, Prime members have first dibs basically through I think the 31st as far as whenever there's listings for them.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
There's
so many Prime members, but still.
Yeah. But every time I've clicked on it from the link right to the cart menu, it's like,
nope,
it doesn't work. Like literally seconds after the alert, it's like it won't.
So are you trying to get a PS5?
I was thinking about it. I currently don't have a console.
Yeah,
so
I know.
I was thinking about it.
I saw your Xbox controller over there, and I was like, why is he got that?
That's actually one of my wired ones I can use on my computer. Which
that's cool
handy.
shit.
Yeah, luckily I had that in a different room. So, yeah, I was kind of keeping an eye up, and I saw the last couple days Best Buy, I think, had a couple drops. I think our Best Buy in town, and then GameStop had one, I think, as well. But I'm kind of itching. I'm missing having a console a little bit.
Something to do, yeah.
Yeah, because whenever I still hasn't sunk in that I don't have an Xbox anymore, and I'm like, my time off, I'm like, maybe I'll go play some Xbox. I'm like, oh shit, I don't have an Xbox. And then literally 10 minutes later, I'm like a fucking goldfish. I'm like, I'll jump on the Xbox. Like, oh wait, I don't have an Xbox. It's kind of sad, but it's not that big of a deal. You know, I mostly used it for watching TV and stuff. But
or Smite.
Actually, I've downloaded it on my PC, so my PC is not great, but I can run Smite. That's one game I have been playing a little bit, and that's part of why I plugged controller in, because believe it or not, I've found it more difficult to play with the mouse and keyboard. I think there's certain gods that are okay with it, but the god I play, King Arthur, is very difficult to play with mouse and keyboard. It's much easier with controller.
Well, I mean, you have how many hours invested on a controller too?
Yeah.
I mean, just making that swap over would be a pain in the ass.
I would say like skill shot, like mages and stuff. It's the mouse is easier, but King. I'm not getting into smite tactics too much, but King Ardle is a character who spams abilities a lot. You need to be able to spam really quickly on a keyboard, like hitting the buttons.
It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, buttons on the controller layout's just easier for me with him because, I've been playing a little bit of Smite, but my PC, it runs it okay, but sometimes I'll get a hiccup in a game like Smite. If you get a hiccup,
it's death.
Yeah, it's death, and it's so frustrating.
Instant death.
Yeah, so that's been somewhat of a challenge.
So I got a video I would love to share here.
Okay.
It kind of pissed me off a little bit.
All right.
Hold on. All right. I saw this video the other day, and it just made me a very unhappy person.
Okay. I'm eager to find out now.
Today, prosecutors charged a La Puente mother accused of encouraging
What?
her daughter to hit another child. This happened during a youth basketball
Bro.
game in Garden Grove.
Dirty as hell, dude.
Video. Take a look.
So, audio only listeners, we're watching a video
my
right now.
God.
I think it was high school basketball game, like a high school girls basketball
Not
game.
that serious. Holy
And
shit.
this one girl just absolutely clocks this other girl.
That's
Just out of
insane.
Just punches her,
Pulls completely back. Yeah, it's fucked up.
punches her teeth in, dude.
Better for our children.
And that's
What was the reasoning? They said something about our mother told her to do it?
The delinquent
I guess I didn't look too much into the story. I just saw the video and I watched like a little bit on it.
It says on the bottom. Okay, what is that?
Oh, is that? Oh, that thing's in the way. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good.
I thought that was on like the other window. 'Cause I was on
It
the
says
stream
something.
window. Here, let me get it at a full screen here.
It's a disturbing video.
Get that shit out of here. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. All right.
I think it something to do with her mother told her to do it. Either way, it's
The La Puente
Mother charged for allegedly encouraging daughter to punch rival.
that is bizarre a little bit. Like, can't we charge the daughter for punching? Like, they're in high school at this point, you know?
Could you imagine being like the daughter?
No.
And you know, you're like,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
like
Oh,
in
my
the
mom
corner,
told me
like in
to.
the boxing ring, and your mom's like, I want you to knock her.
Take that bitch out.
She's too good at laying.
Put her in a
She's-
body bag.
She goes too hard in the paint. We got to get rid of her.
She's like, look, I told her to sweep the leg. I didn't tell her to fist punch her.
Do you want to win this game? Do you want to win this
I've been
game?
watching Cobra Kai season 3. I don't. Shit's
Mom, this
getting
isn't
serious.
martial arts. It's basketball.
Yeah, that's
It's
why
gonna be basketball unless you take that girl out.
You want to go to McDonald's? You want that kid meal? Kids meal? I mean, they're in fucking high school though, so
Literally, like
that's crazy.
even if I had a parent tell me to do that, I never would have just
That's
had the
bizarre,
courage
yeah.
to just randomly
And then
like, just
charge the
sock
parent.
somebody.
Like, I mean, the parent shouldn't have done that. It's fucked up. But you're in high school. Like, shouldn't she take some responsibility
Yeah,
for
I
physically
think you're
assaulting
right.
another?
I
person?
feel like
I don't know.
those kids at that level have probably played the game for years. Like when I
Yeah.
played baseball in high school, I played
Yeah.
for 9 years before.
I know
you know?
that's not right.
So
obviously,
yeah, it's like most kids are taught good sportsmanship their
Yeah.
entire lives.
right.
You
And
know?
assaulting somebody, it doesn't
That's not
matter.
good
Yeah, like that's.
sportsmanship.
It doesn't matter what you're doing. Physically assaulting someone. You imagine like a spelling bee. They're just like, hey, take that motherfucker out. He's smart.
Yeah, the curtain
The
pulls
Asian
back.
guy.
You feel the kid, he's like in a headlock. And then,
He's like, you can't spell if you don't have any teeth. There's just some really.
you're a dumb fuck wife.
There's just some really big fucking dumb guy that just wins the spelling bee. Like, cat. He's like, he's like looking at his parents. He's like, how does this guy keep winning?
Have you seen the iridocyclitis kid?
No.
Oh my goodness! Let me get him up here real
It
quick.
reminds
for
me
you.
of the fucking. I might. Is it the little white kid with the bowl cut? It's like sweating.
No, it's an
different.
Indian
That's a different
kid.
one. Oh, I think I have seen that. The Indian kid. Yeah, the really smart kid.
Iridocyclitis.
Yeah.
Iridocyclitis. Here, let me.
I've seen the one where the kids misspell something and he's like, shit. He's like, says it on air. That's pretty funny.
So, good thing about this this video is it's actually really audio friendly.
Oh, good. If it's linked, you should bring up though. I haven't seen this one actually.
Iridocyclitis.
Oh, that was it?
That was it. Yeah, it's just even
He's an interesting looking kid.
He's probably really smart. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Got through school and got like a full ride. He's way further in life than we are. But
oh yeah, this kid's going places.
But to be viral, could you imagine being a viral meme? Like, it can't be that hard nowadays, you know?
Yeah, you're right.
That's something that could pop up for most people, whether you're actually funny or you have like some mental breakdown somewhere, you're gonna go viral.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Ridiculous. I went viral for eating a sub in Blade's truck.
Yeah, isn't it funny? Like the recipe, like I know that like TikTokers and stuff have certain like ways that they can, you know, game the system.
Yeah.
You know, they have some sort of knowledge of how to make things viral, but even still, it's like it could be such a random event. You know, anything could go viral at any point.
And everything is being recorded all the time now.
I know. There's nothing specific that you can like. There's no recipe for it, really. I mean, you know, there's certain paths, spells that you can try to cast, but you know, for the most part,
it's a lot of luck.
It's luck. Yeah, it's luck and timing too, and like what's going on. You know, there's a lot of things that go viral that have been around for years, and they just get one person discovers it, and then they post it, repost it. And it's like it fucking gets viral.
This isn't a meme, but Among Us came out in 2018. It didn't blow up until late 2020 last year. Late early 2021, and just absolutely just
destroyed,
exploded.
And that's such a like. I haven't played it much, but it looks like a fun game, but. Such a non-assuming game that if you looked at it, you wouldn't think like this is going to be fucking huge. You know what I mean? The graphics and everything just like pretty basic.
It came out in 2018. They didn't really touch it until it blew up.
And I mean, that's great. I love that kind of stuff. I love that anything that we do, like at any moment, any stupid thing that we've said that we've forgotten about, and even in this last 6-7 months,
little teeny tiny
you know, at any moment, you know. One of our titles get picked up or something, and you know, or something we did could go viral. You know, especially if we keep doing stupid challenge things, which we will eventually. But we're taking a break.
I'm taking a break from that shit.
Jack's taking a break from that right now.
Man,
I might get involved if I can get
the tube of terror.
Yeah.
You can pull that
I don't know about that, man. I've talked about it, but we would definitely have to get some growth, some big growth on that one, because that one scares me. It scares me still. But have you ever seen we've talked about them before, the Badland chugs? I'd be interested in doing some chugs, getting down the boot, the vortex, man. I want to get the vortex down. I mean, getting the I know for sure that the leader chug we could get down. We just practice and
I've done it
open
twice.
their stomach.
I know I can do it. It's just.
But the vortex is something like I need to learn some new techniques to get that down. You gotta open your throat because it's like it's all about speed. You know.
And there's so much foam involved in the vortex.
Exactly. But that's part of like getting your situation. But my point was that those are more interesting to me are those type of challenges. But the babbling chugs we've talked about, we haven't had him on the show, but we've showed his videos before. I like his videos.
Love to have him on the show.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
If you want to come on, I will accomplish a liter beer chug.
Yeah.
If you come on,
I will be. He doesn't really do alcohol that much, does he? I don't know if I've ever seen him do alcohol. He usually does like
soda, which in my opinion
I was gonna say that's the one thing I haven't realized, like how many different flavors of Mountain Dew there were until like, because I think I'm subscribed to him or I've seen enough of his videos when they come up now. Like every day it'll be like a different flavor of Mountain Dew that he's chugging somewhere.
I think I could name
it's
at least
crazy.
Voltage, live wire.
Oh no, I'm talking about these are all none of his chugs I've seen are like those.
Like regular
They're
stuff?
all different shit. Yeah. Every single one of them.
What about the gingerbread one? Is that one in there?
I don't think so. There was one that he did the other day at KFC. It came in a bag.
What the?
Yeah, and it was, I forget what the name of it was. You know what? I'm going to bring up his channel right now, and we're just going to go, I'm not going to go through, like, click on his videos, but I'm just going to look at the titles, because the titles are like, I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. I've never seen these many, and now I'm like, I want to try these different flavors of Mountain Dew. A lot of them are, like, limited to, like whatever, restaurants and stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Like how Baja Blast was Taco Bell's for a while.
Exactly. All right, here's one. Sweet Lightning. That's the one from KFC in the bag. We got Sweet Lightning. We've got Vibe, Mountain Dew Vibe. That's from like a specific restaurant or gas station, I think. Mountain Dew Southern Shock.
Dude, that intro was crazy.
Which one?
Go back over that last video. No, go back. Hit the arrow.
Which one? This
That one. No, one more over. Sorry, I fucked up. Where is it? I swear.
Are you talking about like his actual intro?
He had an intro where he was like in space and he just like fell back.
That's his intro to like all of his videos. That's his first.
Crazy.
That's his first little.
That's
one.
The one. Yeah.
That's when it gets to his like actual intro. Yeah, that's pretty dope. So we got Southern Shock. We've got Mountain Dew Atomic Blue, which I didn't even see that one.
That sounds good. That sounds like a Fallout flavor.
It does. We got Sweet Lightning, which is in a fucking bag from KFC. I remember Pitch Black, but I don't think that's been around for a while, unless they brought it back. I remember Pitch Black though. But those are just like literally the last 4 videos that he's done. But
Mountain Dew.
yeah, a lot of
damn. That's a whole line of Mountain Dews right there.
Oh yeah, but those are like
those are pretty basic.
Yeah, those are basic ones. But no, I think it's cool. It's really cool. There's a citrus one. I forget what the name it was, but it wasn't any of the ones that we're aware of. Frostbite, Mountain Dew Frostbite.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Now I want a Mountain Dew. Pepsi sponsors. I'd chug some Mountain Dew. I'll chug it.
I'll chug the flaming hot Mountain Dew.
Yeah, he's got that one. I think he did that one.
I'm still pissed I didn't.
I am too, man. I kind of want to. I want to get that.
I was at Busch Gardens that day, and I was sitting on my phone, dude, on the sidelines, like, give me the fucking money.
I fucking forgot about that. But then I remember I looked shortly after. I remembered that day, but it was already sold out.
Scalped.
Yeah. Why is that's our like culture now? Everything is scalped. That pisses me off.
Even
man.
things that people don't care about get scalped.
Yeah.
It's whack.
They saw the success with the consoles, and now like everybody's doing limited releases, and it just pisses me off. Honestly. Guess how much? 1 can of the Flaming Hot's going for right now on Amazon.
$12.
Nope.
Is it higher?
Yeah.
No chance.
Yep.
$20?
They got one listed, 116 ounce, $31.75.
Bro, why?
Yeah, actually it goes as low as. No, I think that's as low as they have it listed. Yeah, it's crazy.
Damn, dude.
And then.
That's so annoying.
They have a thrashed apple flavor as well.
A Mountain Dew thrashed apple.
Thrashed apple, and that one's $21.58.
Dude, next month I think we're getting the release of the Mountain Dew seltzers, the alcoholic seltzers.
Oh, we teased that before. We do. Do we have to? No, you can't really You can't order. Well, you can order alcohol, but not really. It's
harder.
It's harder to do that. So I doubt they'll release it to where you can order it online.
Yeah, it'd be a pain in the ass.
But we gotta like find a store that sells it.
I will track that shit down.
Like find a store locator and like track it down.
We got a shotgun one.
Yeah, seltzer.
Yeah, seltzers are kind of annoying.
Yeah, all the fucking foam. I can only imagine. I'll do it though. I mean, I'm not like a veteran shotgunner like yourself, but I will participate.
Yeah, I'm only.
I gotta practice a little bit more.
Intermediate.
You know, the last time I shotgunned something, I think was at the Beer Olympics.
Damn, that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I know. I don't shotgun things. I'll chug it, but I don't really shotgun. But
that's crazy.
Yeah, it was like 2 years ago. That was like the first time I met you.
Was last night.
I think that was the first time No, it wasn't the first time I met you outside of work, but I think I saw you somewhere else downtown, like briefly.
Yeah, I bumped into you.
That was the first time.
At a bar that doesn't even exist anymore. Is where I bumped into.
Yeah, you're right. That's true. Sad, but true.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. So anyway, the Mountain Dew seltzers. We got to definitely get a hold of those. I'm still bummed about this Flaming Hot. I kind of, after you mentioned that, I kind of wanted to try it again. And I'm like, damn it, bring it back, Mountain Dew.
So obviously, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield have both played Spider-Man, and they also both hate the paparazzi.
Yeah.
I think, did we show the Tobey Maguire video?
We did, yeah.
Well, I just saw this yesterday. They apparently have this in common.
While we're looking for that, let me just ask you one quick question.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a 100% accurate number because it says over a certain number. How many different flavors of Mountain Dew do you think there are in 2020? This is from 2020, a list.
Man, I mean, we just went over so many that I didn't even know existed.
Yeah. Sure I know. That was like 10.
So I'm going to highball myself a little bit here.
I don't think this number is correct, by the way. I think it's much higher than what it's saying.
32?
It says 30. Oh, it says over 35. You were pretty close, but I don't think that number is correct either. It says from 2020. but I want to find a more accurate number because I'm sure there's more than that now, but with the limited releases and all that.
You got my screen share?
Oh shit! Sorry, I'm looking at Mountain Dew flavors. We could do a tier listing of Mountain Dew flavors.
We could do a tier list of paparazzi freakouts.
Yeah, we could do that.
I mean, respect to Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire though, because they were in the right.
Dude, I heard that, and we won't talk about the new movie, but that he's getting a lot more love from the new movie.
He is.
Garfield is, yeah.
Honestly, I didn't like him as Spider-Man, but I've
heard that a lot.
That he gets a third movie.
Yeah.
He deserves it. They redeemed his character really hard. They did a really good job with him.
Is this recent, or is this...
I think this is a little bit older. Let me see when the video was posted.
It's pretty long.
Let me see.
Have you seen the Bully? I'm sure you've seen the Bully Maguire
2015 it was posted. I've seen a lot of them, yeah.
Talk about, like, editing, like... Top tier editing,
For
like
real.
it's so amazing.
So funny.
They're so funny. It's like it's just incredible the stuff that people can do.
Dude, he's so done right now.
What is it? He's just trying to like do whatever he's trying to do, and he's just like
trying to
not
live
doing
his
anything.
life.
Yeah, they're like literally got him surrounded right now.
Fuck paparazzi.
Yeah, I agree.
We should make merch. Fuck paparazzi.
Yeah.
Even though we haven't even.
Yeah, right. Maybe that'll get them to harass us.
Yeah, some notoriety.
Back up, please.
There's a part where he walks around Emma Stone's car.
And they say, this is old because
That's Emma Stone right there.
They're not really a thing anymore, right? Oh shit, yeah.
I don't think so.
Thankfully.
Thanks, guys. Congratulations on the engagement.
Yeah.
Damn it. Are they together? Emma Stone and him are together?
I don't know. This is back in 2015.
Oh, okay. He said, congrats on the engagement. I didn't even know they were like a couple.
Spider-Man, man.
Dude, they're standing in front of the fucking car. Pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Wait, see, hear how the paparazzi guy talks to
He's a
him.
Spider-Man.
He's a Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
If there's not an edit between this video and Tobey Maguire's video, there needs to be one.
Hey, get out of the way, man.
So he's literally having to like make sure they don't step in front of her car.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so fucking stupid. That's
Terrible people, bro.
yeah, man.
Again? Whoa!
Shit.
I didn't walk in the front of the car.
I didn't walk in front of the car.
Wait. He said take the subway.
Take the subway? Is that what he said? With Spider-Man? Choose your web, man.
What a dickwad, bro.
Yeah.
Take the fucking subway.
Honestly, at that point, if I had to deal with that every day, people were stepping in front of my car, I
You
would
just
probably
wouldn't be famous anymore.
No, I'd probably be running people over. I would legitimately probably be in jail because I'm a pretty patient guy, but like that's just fucking.
Then we could call you Caitlyn Jenner.
Did he do that?
Yeah.
Really?
Caitlyn Jenner ran a person over and killed him.
Are you serious?
Yes, manslaughter. You didn't know about that?
No.
Yeah, swept under the rug.
Okay, to be fair, I was joking. I wouldn't actually kill somebody. That's insane.
Yeah. And
Legitimately.
I don't want to say got away with it because
That's
it was
insane.
accidental manslaughter.
Somebody mentioned something about that the other day. We were talking about Caitlyn Jenner, and they said something about him getting away with basically killing somebody, or she got away with. And I had no idea. I thought it was something. He was talking about something like Bruce Jenner did, like in the '80s, like it was some sort of. I had no idea that that was legit. Like that happened recently too. Fucking.
Well, I don't know how recent it was. Let me get some facts here.
That's insane.
To J. Jonah Jameson's podcast.
Dude, this shit's good. This is like grape
Isn't it?
juice.
It is good, yeah.
It's good.
I feel like
it tastes like the sparkling grape juice, but it's actually alcoholic. You give your kids this, and then they were like
tipsy.
Trick them into thinking they're not drinking something, but they're really drinking something.
Get them one of those battery cars for like Christmas, and they're like drunk driving.
Look, listen, just keep it under 2 miles per hour, please. That would be funny. Have you seen the videos of the kids in those things, and they're like drifting them, and they're like parking them like crazy?
Yeah.
They're like you know what I mean? Like not parallel parking, but like parking by like spinning out. It's crazy. It's awesome. Those kids are gonna be like amazing stunt drivers when they grow up.
So by the looks here, it looks like it was back in 2015.
Still, that's really
semi-recent,
recent. Yeah, that's crazy. So was he Caitlyn at that point though, or was he Bruce?
I think he was Caitlyn in 2015, like freshly Caitlyn.
Does he just get out of it anyway if he was Bruce? He's like,
He
well,
didn't get charged.
I'm not Bruce anymore, so you have to charge Bruce for that.
You gotta just change the next day.
Yeah. Can you imagine that? Like,
I'm Caitlyn now.
imagine, I'm sure there's a movie about it, if there should be, about somebody who's like a male serial killer and then they just have a sex change.
Now they can't be
and then they go
charged.
somewhere else, they can't be charged, and then they become another serial killer.
Just wait till that does happen in courts, though, where
Yeah.
people just like identify as somebody
I
else.
would not be surprised now. Like, there's so much craziness
Honestly,
in this
I
world.
wouldn't be either, man. I can see that happening for sure, and they get away with it.
And they make some sort of law, like the Caitlyn Jenner law or something like that, to protect them. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm not worried. It'll be overruled. Because we just overruled Roe v. Wade in Texas. They don't really care
Really?
about old stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. They're just like, I don't like it. We're
Depends where
changing
you're
it.
at, though. They use the law how they how they see fit.
I agree with that.
So
I'm just saying that we add
Yeah.
these things like the Constitution back in
Yeah.
the day. And if we did it now, it still has a chance of getting
I feel
overruled
like
in a year.
I feel like nowadays nothing is sacred. Like nothing. I don't think any doctrine anybody gives a shit about. It doesn't matter when it was made.
Mm-hmm.
Like courts are just gonna do what they want to do. Like California, for example. If you're in California and you don't recycle your banana peels or something, you're probably gonna go to jail.
I saw an adult
It doesn't
eating.
matter.
I saw an adult eating tricks the other day, dude. Tricks are for kids, bro.
Oh, that's fucked
Nothing
up.
is safe.
He should be put away for good. The leprechaun should be, having his way with him in prison.
Cinnabon would be pissed.
Do you see, I actually saw that. I was listening to the radio that's like a new law in California. Something to do with like they have to recycle their banana peels.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gotta,
no
like-
more waste there.
Yeah, that's like fucking insane to me.
That's a good thing, in my opinion.
That's insane to me.
Really?
No, I think that's I think that's literally controlling someone's life to like what.
Oh, you're
what's
talking
next.
about. Oh, I was talking about company wide.
No, it's like
Oh, it's individual.
people. Yeah, it's like residential.
You can't throw out a banana
As
peel?
far as I'm aware, I might have to look that up.
Can I throw it in my yard? Can I like line my yard with
No,
banana
I-
peels? Like make a.
I think as a company or something but when you're going to people's like personal lives and like that's, I don't know.
they
it's
just
fucking
made
crazy.
a law where companies have to donate or recycle all food that's not sold in stores.
Yeah,
So like produce and stuff specifically.
I mean that's, I don't know. I don't think I have a problem with
I
that,
agree
but
with
I feel
that.
like I don't know. That could be causing problems for smaller businesses and stuff. I don't know, but
Donating food isn't that hard. It's better than throwing it away.
it's like why wouldn't they do that already? There's probably some sort of expense for them to have to do that.
It's a
you know what
slight
I mean?
expense, yeah.
Right.
But
I don't want to get into this stuff, but I just think California is such a busted.
no, I don't
so
like California
fucking broken.
either. But I do agree with that law.
Yeah.
I think wasteful food is terrible.
Do you think okay, here's an example. I don't know what your opinion is on vegetarianism. I know I'm pretty sure you're not a vegetarian, right? You like meat and stuff.
No.
So what if they thought that being a vegetarian is healthy? And maybe it is. Maybe there's certain, I don't know all the scientific facts. They say they think vegetarian's healthy, and then they pass a law and they say, well, it's better for you to be a vegetarian. You can't eat meat anymore.
Then
Do you agree with that?
Never gonna. No, I don't fucking agree with that.
What if for some reason carbon emissions went down because everyone didn't eat meat? I'm not going to go into science. I don't believe that's even a thing. But say scientists somehow in a lab in California proved that if we stop eating meat, carbon emissions, your carbon footprint's gonna be smaller. So for the environment, it's better to be a vegetarian.
I don't think that'd be fair. I don't even agree with the closing down of the oil pipeline.
Yeah.
That's infrastructure right
that's
there.
where that's what I feel like that's like if you're enforcing banana peel recycling on individuals, like you're in the same ballpark. Like you're forcing something on people that even if it is better for the environment, like that's such. Like I agree.
Well,
not
banana
like
peels are biodegradable. You're technically recycling it, even if you throw it in the trash. It's still going to biodegrade.
Right.
So what do you mean? What's the stipulation for recycling?
I don't know. I just heard a thing on the radio.
You could throw it on
there's
your
some
your tile floor here, and it'd be recycling a banana peel technically.
But I think they have some sort of like thing they're supposed to do, like put it in a certain can or something like that for them. It's like just. You're right. It no matter where it goes, it's gonna.
I have to know the science behind it to agree with that, but face level, nah, I'm not big on that.
Yeah.
But like I said, I agree with the company-wide one because I think that companies in America, they have a great advantage with capitalism here.
Yeah.
So I think that they should have a responsibility to take care of stuff like that, in my opinion.
I think that's a more fair.
But individuals, opinion. No. Individual, that's... No. I don't know about that.
I don't know. I think it gets really dicey with anything individuals. I mean, I think the individuals shouldn't, I don't know, fucking run, like, I don't know, dump gasoline in the yard. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something very super environmentally, ridiculous that like, but I can't even really think of anything like spraying hairspray into the sky. I don't know, man. Silly. Policing anything individuals do is just really kind of crazy. Not anything, but not anything. I mean,
cast a pretty wide.
No. I mean anything within reason. Anything like their personal preferences as far as.
And everyone should be allowed to keep small children in their basement locked up.
No, I don't agree with that. Unless it's Lucky McCharms
or Cinnabon.
Yeah, because they can't be trusted. They're magical creatures. Or elves. Maybe the elves.
Did I add one?
Yeah.
Let's see what else I got here. Oh, did we talk about the Stan Lee's account pushing NFTs?
We have not done that.
Dude, so this hits home so hard. This one pissed me off beyond.
So can we go back to, we've talked about NFTs before. That's the thing where it's like a picture.
Yeah. Okay. This isn't really about NFTs.
I got you. But I've been seeing that everywhere now. NFTs is like, and it's like a meme.
Huge.
It's a big thing now. So yeah.
I think they're money laundering. I think that's a big thing about it.
Really?
I think it's money laundering and idiots.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
That's the internet for you.
Yeah.
Money laundering
and idiots. And don't forget porn.
Yeah. And the occasional PS5.
But no, I think so the only reason you would buy an NFT for a high price is because you would think someone else is going to buy it for a higher price. Mm-hmm. There's no value there.
I've seen a video before where someone tried to explain it to me, and I am not, I don't think I'm below average intelligence, but I'm definitely not like a scientist, but it just seems so fucking bizarre to me. It's hard to wrap my head around.
It's whack.
It's hard to understand, but
I understand it slightly, very slightly.
Yeah.
But I'm not in the world of NFTs.
That's the weird thing about like anything though, like cryptocurrency, like everything. Technically, there's really no value there unless people put value on it. You know what I mean?
Well, cryptocurrency, it's not technically a tangible thing, but it is a code. There is something behind it.
Yeah.
NFTs,
that reminds me of the Matrix. We got to get into that.
Yeah.
Let's hit the code.
NFTs are just artwork, though. It's just pictures online, which I guess technically there is something behind it.
Yeah.
But I just...
So
crypto's more tangible.
It's so confusing because it's like you can make copies of NFTs, right? But with some way that you purchase it, you have the original, right?
Something
like that.
Yeah. That part I don't know.
So it would be like you said artwork. I think that's a good like correlation. So you think of like a Picasso or something, like an original painting, and they make copies of those. And the original has some stupid value to it. That's kind of what they're trying to go for, I guess. But in a digital space.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't make sense because it's like. That's the closest thing I can think of in my brain.
That was even less tangible because it's online.
Exactly, because the thing about the original print is you've got the original
the OG,
thing.
Yeah,
you have the physical original thing. Whereas a digital copy is going to be the exact same, but it might not have the specific code that this one has. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's why it's just like fucking...
Stupid.
Yeah, it's like trying to make sense.
That's what I'm saying, man. There's something dirty going on.
I agree. I think there probably is some sort of laundering.
I think there's laundering behind it, and like I said, I think it's just people buying it for a lot of money, thinking they can still sell it for more money.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is behind those.
So speaking of code, you want me to talk about the Matrix Resurrection a little bit?
Oh, we had the Stan Lee topic.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
You sidetracked hard into NFTs.
I just remind me of the Matrix because I've already forgotten about it twice. So good, Stan Lee. Yeah. NFTs.
whoever runs Stan Lee's account was trying to push some NFTs of a new superhero. And Stan Lee's been dead for 2-3 years now.
Yeah.
And
it's odd.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't think Stan Lee's tweeting.
No,
But yeah, they come from Stan Lee's Twitter account, and it's literally just to push NFTs because they're the big thing right now.
Yeah.
Dictionary.com commented on the post, and they said they posted the definition for the word defile.
Yeah.
So they roasted whoever.
I have a big issue with that. I never really thought about that, but that I guess it does happen.
Dude, talk about digital weekend at Bernie's there. I mean, what the fuck?
I think that's so crazy that happens. That I see. Actually, I didn't even think about it, but like on my on like Facebook, you like something like a band, and I'll see posts from bands that people are like are dead in it. And I'm like, this is fucked up. Now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, this shouldn't be a thing anymore. You know, like you shouldn't be posting from something that's not there anymore.
How is that okay?
I don't know. That speaking of like laws, I feel like that's borderline like fraud, right? People do that. They'll take dead people. Like happened to my grandma when she died. Like there's a bunch of like my uncle opened up a bunch of credit cards in her name after she died. Yeah, it's like you should go to jail for that. That's maybe not to the same degree, but you're using someone's name that is not alive anymore.
There's got to be something like some kind of laws behind it, some legality that they get around. Because they wouldn't just do that knowing full well they could have any
social
kind of
media
comeback. There has to be something there.
Or some gray area that they can
operate in. There has to be some kind of contract.
It's fucked up. But
like clause in
I'm
there.
sure there is, like with the company with Marvel or whoever he worked with, you know, they're like, well, we have him for like 10 years. This
is our Twitter account now.
Yeah. Wait till you see the pictures they post with him. And
he never posted before he died.
Yeah. These NFTs of him in his bathroom. I don't know. So the new Matrix. So I started to watch the new Matrix Resurrections. That, for those of you not in the know, it's the revival, I guess you could say. I don't even know if it's sequel, I guess, to the trilogy. Which, so I didn't watch the whole thing. I will say that, and I probably will sit through it. Maybe I'll be honest. I'm not eager to jump back in to finish it, but I was a little tired, and you know, my focus wasn't all there. But the movie wasn't doing me any favors. I'll say that. So the thing that I had a couple issues with it. The first off, if you've watched the trailers, you kind of get the idea of where it opens up, to where it's like you got Keanu Reeves' character. What was his name?
Neo
Anderson. Thomas Anderson. But
Mr. Anderson.
He went by Neo, but this is Thomas Anderson was his name. You have him, and he's sitting in. He's a computer programmer, video game programmer, and in this movie, right? So
in the new one.
In the new one, yeah. The movie doesn't pick up with him in an office programming. You get this character who we don't know who she is, but she's almost like a Trinity type. She got short hair. She got short, colorful hair, and she's following around Trinity, actually, or who appears to be Trinity. I don't think it's the same actress in the scene in the beginning. The same actress is in the movie later, but they explain it as it's some sort of program she's watching that was a scene from the first movie where she's on the rooftop and the agents are chasing her, but everything's slightly different. I don't even understand. I don't remember. I'm sure there's explanation. It was kind of like the computers use these programs to train themselves, almost like a simulation
on themselves.
Nice. Yeah, it was like a simulation of the fight scene from whatever, and this girl's sitting in it and I'm watching it. She's like, something's off, and then one of the agents, like the guy's warning her, you need to get out of this simulation, something's wrong. And then this bald agent like grabs her, and they interact and tussle, and then the bald agent guy actually turns out to be Morpheus. Ooh. The new Morpheus, which is apparently a mix of Morpheus and Mr. Smith. Yeah, because Neo programmed it to be that way. So
do you think that was like, did they want that, or do you think that they couldn't get Lawrence back and they're like, I don't know,
because they like to showcase lots of scenes from the first movie. Like that was another thing that bothered me.
That's annoying.
They just injected old footage throughout the movie, and they showed Lawrence, as Morpheus. I feel like they probably did want him, and he I don't know. I feel like he probably wants the paycheck. You know.
I don't know. Lawrence
Maybe
Fishburne
not.
does pretty well for
You think so?
himself. Yeah. I don't see.
But
him.
he's been in a lot of movies as Keanu. He's been in like the fucking the movies where he shoots people. You know, the new movies.
John Wick.
Yeah.
Well, John Wick's like a surviving, set of movies still.
Yeah.
The
So you
Matrix.
think-
The Matrix
so you
had
think-
an end. You know.
You think that like he was like, I'm not gonna. This will make me look bad.
Yeah.
To go to.
Dictionary.com popped in his head with the word defile. He was like, maybe I shouldn't go fuck up the Matrix.
I'll say I'll just kind of go through the portion I saw. They started out. There was like some action, and it was like, They kept showing flashbacks though, which bothered me. Like, I hate when movies do that. Recycle
They
footage.
rely on like the older movies.
Like just straight up cuts. It wasn't like they re-filmed those scenes. Like it was just like the same, whatever. I'm like, they kept doing that. I was like, okay, that's the first red flag.
I've already seen
And a lot
this.
of the time, it's like movies you can tell that it's either like cash in or like they're cutting back on the budget when they're just recycling footage. You know what I mean?
Which that movie should have had like a whack ass
you would
budget,
think so.
you know?
Yeah,
I don't see why they.
I will
hold
say
that.
the scenes I saw that it didn't look like the action looked pretty good, but the fact that they just kept layering these on, and it was like there were flashes. Like it would be like Neo would be talking to someone in his office because he worked in the office. He was a video game programmer for the Matrix, and he'd be talking to his boss, and then it'd be like all of a sudden it would just show a flash of him sitting in the room being interrogated by Mr. the Agent Smith, and it would like literally just show like a 5-second flash of that, and then go back to the other scene. And it was like just very
like,
jarring.
what the fuck? Yeah.
It didn't make sense. They were trying to like throw it in your face, like, hey, this is a metaphor for this character. This is it was almost like Star Wars. You know how like the newest Star Wars basically is a retelling of the first movie.
Yeah.
But they were just like it was like that. But if in the scenes that were similar, they just showed the actual scenes for the first one to be like, hey, this is just like this one. And it was like they kept showing flashes.
Like that Leonardo DiCaprio meme.
Yes, they kept doing that. That pissed me off. For 2. So when he finally meets Morpheus, which is apparently a character that he programmed in the Matrix video game. So in this Matrix, he's a programmer, and the 3 Matrixes were video games, right? So it was actually, there was a scene that was really funny, which I wish I could find and show, where he's sitting down with his boss, and he's like, yeah, I know we weren't going to do another game, but our parent company, he literally says, our parent company, Warner Brothers, really wants another game, and it's just, and he's talking about it, it's literally the scene, and I'm like, that part was actually funny because they're talking kind of shit about it.
Love the
like it's very
break
meta.
there,
Yeah, it's very meta. You can tell probably because I think the Wachowski sisters now were involved, but they probably like from that dialogue in the movie, you can tell it's like they didn't want to do it, and then they just forced them to do it, and he basically says that like the company wants us to do another game, whether we want to or not, we're gonna do it. And I was just like, that scene was pretty fucking hysterical.
Do you think that they wanted the Matrix, or do you think it was because Keanu Reeves was so popular last year?
I think they've been talking about it for a long time, but I think that's the catalyst because he's so popular that it's the cash in. They're like, yeah, well, we need to jump on
It's
this
probably
now.
something that's been tossed around the office, but as soon as
I guarantee
you're breathtaking.
I guarantee you this iteration of it was something they probably slapped together really quickly. Because I'm sure they've had a lot of thoughtful ideas about like actually. And I'm not saying like I haven't seen the whole movie yet. I'm shitting on it pretty hard, but I feel like I do feel like maybe it was a cash grab, and it was okay. I'll get to the points that really bother me. So you have the scene where he meets Morpheus and this character Trinity's in this world too. She's a mother and she's got 2 kids. And he meets her at this coffee shop, and they're talking, and
he's like, "That's a MILF."
And the first part of the movie really bothered me because it's just like him. And they keep like showing metaphors from the Matrix, and like they're talking about the Matrix, and then she's talking to him about the game, which is really she's talking about the characters from the movie, and they just keep talking about. It's so like meta. They're talking about the Matrix inside the Matrix. I'm just like, oh, this is fucking stupid. Like I saw the Matrix, and they're referencing the shit that happened in the movie, the other movies. I'm like, it just felt like a parody of itself, and I'm like, can we just get past this and like get out of the Matrix?
Did you ever see? You ever watch South Park?
Yeah.
You've seen the Member Berries episode?
Don't think I've seen that one.
It's just these little berries. Like, you remember when? You remember when? Just all these callbacks.
It was too much callbacks.
Too much
the first
Member
portion
Berries.
it was just like in your face. Like that little scene was kind of funny, But then it was just like there's so much of that. Anyway, I did get far enough where they did actually, he realized he was in the Matrix and they pulled him out. And then I would say at that point, they started to like, it was better than the first part. The first part was almost hard to watch, like unbearable. But anyway, the thing that bothered me, so he had this interaction with this Morpheus guy, who apparently was, like I said, an amalgamation of Morpheus and
Agent Smith.
It was a character that he made, but there are two personalities. And then this chick that's kind of like Trinity, but it's not Trinity, because Trinity's still there, but she's... Anyway, they take him to this movie theater, and I think they showed this in the trailer, and clips from the movie are playing on the screen, like, of Morpheus.
Oh my
and stuff.
God.
And they're having that conversation, literally, and he even changes the scenery where he has a chair, just like Morpheus. Like, I did this because you'd be more familiar with this. And they're playing the scene they're reproducing literally on the screen behind them. And he's like, these are clips from your game. And that's when it really bothered me, because they keep showing clips from the movie as the movie was made. And they keep saying, this is from the game. And I'm like, that's not... I don't understand why they made it a game. And why they couldn't just say, this is from your movie that you made? You know, because they didn't make it like CG game clip. They just took the same clip from the movie, and they kept doing that. It's not a game. I'm like, they kept doing that, and I'm like, why?
I do have a little bit of a note on that. Have you heard of Unreal Engine 5?
I've heard of Unreal Engine.
Unreal Engine 4 has been standard for a few years now. Unreal Engine 5 just released. There's a Matrix demo, I think.
Yeah.
And it
looks really good.
It's
realistic.
Insane.
Yeah, no, I understand that the graphics.
I'm not defending it. I'm just saying. I think they were trying to like note off of that, be like, "Hey, look at this game. It looks really realistic." And it's like, why don't you go check out the demo we got? You know?
Maybe, but at the same time, it doesn't really work, because it's like, if it's a game, like you should see like gameplay elements, you know, because you know what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't translate as a game at all. It's literally the scenes of them.
It's not
sitting,
Kingdom Hearts where 90% of the game is cutscenes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it does not game. That kept coming up throughout the movie. I'm like, how does no one notice? Like, I know they're the Matrix, but do they not know what a video game is? Are they fucking retarded? Like, this isn't a game. You know, this is scenes from a movie. That took me out of the experience. It happened like so much, and even if I wasn't a gamer, I would be like,
some shit just popped up on my street.
I was wondering. I was
like, what the fuck is happening? And then it went away, so we're good.
So that kept happening, and that kept annoying me. And I got as far as I got in the movie, he actually got pulled out of the Matrix again, out of the little tube, the little fucking jelly-filled thingy. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
He got pulled out.
He got pulled out, and then he found out that Trinity was still in the thing when they pulled him out. He saw her in the pod, and he's like, "We gotta go back and get Trinity." And they're like, "We use all."
You sounded like Rocky.
They're like, "We use all resources to get you, because I'm Rocky
Trinity.
too." Yeah. And then that's when I was like, "All right, I'm gonna try to go to sleep." And I just I turned away and laid down. And I didn't sleep, but I was just like, this is really dumb. And then they went back to wherever the human world is. I don't remember what it's called, but they're like, we can grow strawberries now. And they're like, we can.
And then everyone's walking around with like a daiquiri.
Yeah. No, they're literally like, and this is the thing too that was funny. He's like, how do you grow strawberries? And they're like, we work with the machines now. The original world was with humans. And now we have machines.
I was gonna say it's Utopia. You see like a lady in a machine like holding hands. And there's like a little like
they did this
cyber boy between them.
They did this weird shit where I don't know. Did you ever see the newest not Matrix? The newest Terminator, the one Genesis.
No, Genesis. No, I'm not. I can't.
Anyway,
you Dark Fate.
That is the newest one. The one before that.
Okay.
I guess.
No, I haven't seen the one.
Anyway, in the movie, there's like one of the main Terminator. He's a metal skin, but he also has nanites, which are these little Orbeez kind of things. He makes it looks like little Zorbies, but they're like metal.
He drinks water and he just grows.
Yeah. Well, they have these things where the programs in the real world can project themselves as these like metal mesh like things. And they keep trying. They're like pushing, like, well, we took code from the Matrix and he reverse engineered it, and we took the DNA of that and made a strawberry. I'm like, what? They're like, we could have made these strawberries without this machine. I'm like, that doesn't. I'm not a scientist, but I'm pretty sure you can't take data and take DNA out of data and make strawberries, but in the real world, but okay.
Well,
But they're trying to push the thing of like humans and machines should work together. This is a unification and all that. And I'm just sitting there thinking, the first thing that came to my head, because I was talking to someone at work about this the other day, was about how like we are like interfaced with our cell phones as if we're cyborgs, and how they're talking about like interfacing us literally like in our chips in our brains and stuff. Like the Elon Musk has the Neuralink, and I was just thinking like, is this them like trying? And then like Facebook with their metaverse. I'm like, is this them like really just trying to cram not just VR, but like technology and us merging and how it's okay, we should work together. I don't know. I have weird like sometimes. I'm not like a conspiracy theorist, but I know movies have like propaganda in them and they have certain agendas, and I mean with advertisers and stuff, and even whatever. I mean, and so when I see things like that, that's the first thing I think of. Like, what's their like? What's the underlying stuff here? You know what I mean?
And then little do you know that the big bad behind the scenes is Dole. He's trying to sell you fruit.
It's actually a sweet baby Ray. They're the real evil geniuses that control the robot that is what's his face, whatever the Facebook guy is. He's actually one of those nanite Zorby things. It's just like a projection of a human in the real world. I should have named the episode something like that. But
is there anything? Oh, we didn't talk about the waitress yet.
Yeah. Let's talk about the waitress. Damn, I didn't realize it's like hour and
bro, hour and
five. Yeah.
You want to pop into the waitress?
Yeah, I'll pop in. I'll pop into a waitress. I don't know if I got a big enough tip for it though.
Shit, man, I don't know lately. Like, I wouldn't even go for a Hooters waitress at this point.
I know.
With OnlyFans around, there's no more like good-looking waitresses out there.
No, there isn't, and it's like as hard as to get good help. You can't find any good ones.
Anyways, the story has to do with this waitress, and she got tipped. I think it was $4,400.
Jesus.
She had, I think, a 30-person table. She did everything alone. And so the management of the restaurant she worked at told her that she had to split the tip among the crew.
Among us. No. And then she secretly killed them all.
Could you imagine doing the entire table, 30 people?
No, I would be like, nah.
Really though?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
I don't know if she did or not. I forgot. I watched the entire story.
Yeah,
let's fucking pull it
I've seen the videos where YouTubers like, they leave like stupid tips on tables, like $5,000, but that's like bullshit.
But they claim that she got
she got lied to. It was Monopoly money.
They claim that they fired her for other reasons.
Was she doing other things with those tips, or like servicing 30 people would still be deserving of more than a $4,000 tip?
Why was she under the table the entire time?
She was literally getting paid under the table.
Here, I'm pulling it up.
That's insane.
Hopefully I'm fast enough. Dude, I'm getting better at that.
Nice. All this time too. Yeah, man, practice.
I guarantee you they can't hear it. It's just us.
Yeah. This whole thing's been muted.
So he's announcing
You're Jeff Bezos?
That he just announced him tipping a total of $4,400 to her.
What a douche, though. I mean, that's cool that they're doing it, but like, I hate that shit.
What? The publicity of it?
Yeah, I hate when people do things just to
this guy has no platform or anything. He's not like.
But he's like he said a TED talk or something. Like he's standing up and like they're recording him, and he's like, I'm
he's probably
tipping her $4,000.
Yeah, cut the guy some slack. He just tipped this lady $4,000.
There's like 30 people though.
Yeah. So he's announcing.
You think about 20% for 30 people, like that's a good tip, but that's probably their bill is probably huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but could you imagine making $4,400 in one night?
You imagine like servicing 30 people at once.
I'd service 30 people for $4,400.
Yeah.
I'd make it happen.
I would too, but I'm just saying it wasn't like she didn't work for it. I mean, she got.
No, I agree. She worked for. Oh, you're saying I see what you're getting at.
The percentage on that bill was probably.
You're saying he should sit here and announce.
No, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Because she did bust her ass.
That and I think just the fact of doing. The way I see it is, if you're doing something act of kindness, you should just do it because. You shouldn't do it for a reason. That's just the way I am.
I agree.
I think that takes away from the act of kindness if you have a motivation to it.
But it's still a good act at the end of the day.
It is, but it isn't. Like, what if he got, like it blew up viral and he made a bunch of money off the ad and made more than $4,000?
They both win then, in my opinion. I don't.
I think it takes away from the
It
goodness
spreads
of
a
it.
good message at the
I
same
think it's
time,
great that
though.
she's still getting the money, but I'm saying like I don't think.
What if this inspires
it's
other
intentions.
people to go and leave amazing tips like that?
I mean,
What if other people watch this and be like, man, I want to go leave a big tip for a server. I
mean,
have a couple extra bucks.
and then all the servers get fired. we have no servers. I mean, 4,000 is a lot of money, but you think about you lose your job over it. That's not a lot of money.
They didn't expect her to lose her job over it. I mean,
But she did.
you're right.
If you think about the act as a whole,
But
of the consequences of his act.
He didn't expect that.
This guy's a piece of shit.
This wasn't like his master
we need
plan.
to hate this guy. Fucking send him hate mail.
I think it's okay that he's announcing it.
It bothers me. I think it's great that she did get a big tip, but I think it takes away from all the goodwill from the action.
I think it's
To me, it
dumb
does.
if you have like a homeless person.
Maybe not 100%, but I'll say 50%. To me, it detracts 50%. From
You think it detracts half?
it does to me
From the good
It does, yeah.
Wow.
just because it's clearly his motivations are not
I wouldn't say
there.
it enriches it, but I don't think it really detracts from it either.
Really?
Maybe 5%. Maybe.
It detracts hugely from me.
I think you're crazy.
Have you ever seen these videos of like animals? Like I see them all the time.
If they didn't make this announcement, this probably would have never had any kind of publicity where she lost her job.
Exactly.
Yeah. No.
Exactly.
I'm saying, what if she lost her
Exactly.
job anyways, and
No,
there was no publicity?
What
to
you
begin
just
with?
said though, you just explained exactly. If this hadn't had the publicity, she wouldn't have lost her job.
I don't
It wouldn't
think
be
so,
as big of a
because she
deal.
still wouldn't have wanted to split the tip, no matter if this had publicity or not.
We're not going to see eye to eye on this one, but
No,
it's
we're
okay.
not.
That's fine.
But
That's
we
fine.
can sit here and have a debate. That's the whole good.
No,
part
we
of
are.
the
I think
podcast.
we've explained our positions.
Yeah, you're right.
Let's just watch the video. Let's continue.
And a conflict over sharing it. Ryan Brandt and one of her co-workers waited on a group of more than 30 real
So two
estate
people.
agents who had decided to do a $100 dinner club challenge, where each person tips their server $100.
It's a challenge. So
Okay.
Grant Wise, the president of the real estate company, organized the dinner.
It was an incredible thing to be able to do, to see the server's reaction and to know what.
this guy's a villain. I can just tell by the look at his fucking.
Maybe
look
he
at
did
him.
plan to get her fired.
You take back what you say now. It's too late.
Cash over to my shift manager to be taken, and then that
You're stealing from the register.
20%.
Brandt says she told the group of diners that she would have to split the tip with the entire staff. Wise then asked the restaurant for the money back to give it to her.
That's right. He asked for the money back
Says this is why she was
to give it to her separately.
later.
It was
Call him a piece of shit again. I'm kidding.
No.
Arkansas affiliate.
I don't have a problem with that part, but I do have a problem.
Wait. We gotta
Got her
listen.
fired.
That's the
Can you
restaurant.
turn it up?
I can't.
Arkansas affiliate.
I don't think.
Okay. It's fine. It's just pretty quiet.
It's really quiet for me too.
Yeah. We can hear it.
Employee terminated was not terminated for retaining the tip received that evening.
She claims she wasn't terminated for retaining the tip.
Don't discuss those employee affairs publicly.
Wise said he called ahead to make sure the restaurant did not pull tips, which is common industry practice.
They did not call ahead and ask of our tipping policy, nor did they email and ask about our tipping
There's a lot of uncertainty in the story, so
yeah,
it's hard to tell.
We honored it and just handed it out to the servers that they had asked us to distribute it to.
The server that we worked with the closest was let go.
Once Wise heard Brandt had been fired, he started Disco Fund Me in an effort to help again.
I think it's incredibly unfortunate, and especially this close to the holidays, we're going to try to help her raise enough money to get through the next couple of months.
So you don't like that either?
I'm conflicted about this whole story. I don't know enough about it. Yeah, there's too many uncertainties with it, to be honest with
So
you.
you started to GoFundMe after she got fired. So you
Yeah.
can try to get her some cash to get through the next few months of being fired.
Yeah. I don't know. I know my mind isn't where it should be, but I'm very scrupulous of people, especially on social media now, and their motivations. And I don't know. I don't really like that story that much because I feel like
I don't like that story.
I feel like that. Well, I mean, obviously, I don't like that she got fired, and then on top of that, then it's like it's almost even bigger publicity to, you know, for this whole thing of, oh, well, now we got to get her. And I'm happy that they're, you know, she's getting support and stuff, but then it makes it even more like suspicious for me, more sus with the aftermath. Oh, we did this great thing, and now this company is doing something shitty, and it's like, but I see both sides of it. I mean, she absolutely could have been a problem employee, and maybe she was like, fuck this after she got $4,000 or whatever. But then it also could be, and in that situation, yeah, a company could say, we're not going to fire her for that, but then they target her and get rid of her. You know,
legally, he can't divulge why he fired her.
Right.
Legally, he can't do that. So.
Right. But I mean, even if it wasn't specifically that, and that was what the catalyst that they want to get rid of her for, which seems a little weird to me, why they would want to do that. You know, but if they did, they might. Maybe whatever. They wouldn't. You know how companies operate. If you have a problem and you know you can't get rid of someone for that problem, they do shady stuff. They'll do different things until that person's gone. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's a pretty well-known thing. Not saying shit about that specific company, but that's pretty much world practice, I think, in most establishments.
So how do you feel about the tipping policy then? Do you think that they should have pulled the tip, or do you think that...
I think it's unfortunate, but I think a lot of jobs are like that. I don't know if I agree with it, but I know like for example, bartenders usually do that a lot.
Yeah.
Poker dealers, card dealers do the same thing. You know,
they get
tips. They have to pool their tips.
What did they get tipped?
They get tipped every hand. You never played, like, if you play like in person poker, it's etiquette. Like usually, even the lower stakes, to tip $1. The winner of each hand usually tips at least $1.
Is that blackjack?
No, on just Texas Hold'em. Sure, blackjack. Pretty much any live game that has cash involved, cash chips. If you win, it's pretty good etiquette to at least tip like $1. You're not required to.
I'm a piece of shit though.
You're not required to, but...
Well, I'm glad I know that now, because last time I played blackjack, I made $60, and yeah, I didn't tip her shit.
I don't know as much with blackjack. I feel like it's probably the same. I know any live game, that's why they have the thing they bring with them.
Yeah.
They do. They knock it on the table, and they dink, and then they put their tip in. But at the end of the night, they all have to bring their things. The only reason I know so much about it is I actually looked into being a dealer. You know. But
hey, that'd be cool.
Almost all establishments. But it's the good and bad of the job, though, is kind of getting a look at, especially in poker, when a lot of the times they'll have, you know, they have progressive jackpots and certain, like, things that go on where it's like, oh, if you get the high hand, you win $500. So I guess it's a way for them to eliminate that luck factor too, of like, yeah, well, you happen to deal that hand, you were at the table, you got a $200 tip, so it's only fair for you to share it with everybody else, and it probably helps the morale overall, you know. I would think, right? Because you're gonna have a lot of resentment if somebody's like, oh, I got $500 tip.
I think it's better if you get to keep your own tips, because then you know what you're looking for.
I agree with me personally. I would rather keep my own tips. But
I'm saying for morale too.
I don't know.
Why are you going to work really hard if you're just going to get the tips pooled at the end of the night?
Well, in that situation, it's not really working hard. It's like the luck of the draw. Like, you're not like pulling these cards out and dealing these hands.
For a tip.
They do.
Hard. They provide good service. They're nice.
I think they want that spread it evenly, so it's like everybody should be putting in.
So if you know you're going to get the same amount of tip at the end of the night, why are you going to work harder? Why are you going to try harder to get that?
I see what you're saying, because they're not getting a specific motivation. But what if you did work hard and you just got shitty people that were cheap
people that night,
and then you saw someone who doesn't work that hard, but then there was someone that was really drunk and they were really generous and they got $100 tip.
Some group of realtors who gave you a $4,000 tip.
Right.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that kind of piss you off?
Yeah. What if she was a shitty server?
That would kind of piss you off, and then that would make you resentful of that person. So if you spread the tips around, you know, that person gets a $4,000 tip. You know, now there's 5 of you guys, so now each of you get, you know, less than $1,000. I think everyone's still. I don't know. I see both sides of it. I see as a work environment, maybe overall it's probably less toxic if everyone gets an even share, because you don't have that.
So communism.
Because that.
So you support communism. Wow.
I don't support communism. I think.
Sorry, guys.
I think in a tipping.
Mind Hops is shutting down.
I think in a tipping. I think going into the job, you should have that awareness. I think it's okay if a company does that. But if you're getting hired and they tell you this is the way that is, I'm sorry. That's the way it is. If you should know that going to the job. She should know if they're pulling that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So she shouldn't have this expectation of, well, I'm not trying to get around the system. You know, that's the expectation when you come in and you signed up for the job. So I can kind of see if you're trying to do shit like that, that's kind of fucked up to your coworkers too. Even though you worked hard, but there is a luck of the draw situation, just like in poker. You know, you deal with two guys, certain hands, and things play out. I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm saying waitresses work hard, but you know as well as me, like there's some people, it doesn't matter how great you are, they're cheapskate, they're not going to tip you more than a certain amount.
Yeah.
You know, you get a certain table with someone that's got more money or is more generous or a little bit more drunk, you know, that's kind of the luck of the draw as well. So I think you should put forth your effort, but I also think that I see the positives of both systems. But either way, like I think that either one is fine. I personally, if I was working at a place like that, service industry, bartending or dealing poker, I would want to work at a place where I could cap my own tips personally.
Yeah.
But I can see places not doing that. And if I worked at a place that told me that when I got hired, I wouldn't be salty if
if that was policy when you were if there was no like blind side to it.
Right. And then there's no way that was a blind side for her.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that she's been, unless that was her first day working, you know, like she knows how the thing goes every night. They gather all the money and then they spread it out, you know. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. But yeah, you should tip your dealers.
So now now I know this.
Yeah.
That also, okay, so let's bring this back now to the customer.
Yeah.
The customers wanted her to have that entire tip.
Right, and they said that they called ahead and they said that they didn't do that there. But then the other people said that.
The email.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, let's say the customers wanted to give it, maybe like he took it back and he wanted to give it to her separately, some other place, you know, where it didn't have to do with the restaurant.
That's a tough situation. That's a hard one to say because I think about my job, you know, not where I'm at now, but when someone tries to tip you, you're like, no, and they keep insisting. You're like, okay, after they keep insisting, maybe you'll take a tip. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. What do you mean, like? The customer's position, should he be able to do that, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Should he be, does the customer override the business policy?
Well, I mean, if you're working in any retail, you know the old saying, customer is always right. I think that, the customer,
so if
that's what he wants.
We know the policy is tip pooling, and he says, I specifically want this waitress to have the $4,000, $400.
If that's their policy, I think in that situation, I think the policy. Now, I think if he should have found out the policy beforehand, and I don't know the situation if they told him the truth or not. Whatever, we'll just ignore that.
That's what I'm saying. We can't.
We have to ignore that. If he knew that that was the policy, and he still decided to try to go through the tipping system, I think that's on him. Yeah, he should have just like addressed it separately somehow, like took her outside or something, and was like, I don't know.
It drops $4,000. Yeah. Oh, look at that. That's crazy.
Once you've already put this through the system and said, I'm a tip, and then go back. That's why I'm like, I have problems too, red flags with the fact that they tried to do something, which whether they knew it or not, and then they're like, afterwards, like, oh no, we need that back. Like, you know, it's almost like I feel like maybe they were trying to cause controversy a little bit. That's my opinion.
You think that this is an inside job?
I think there may have been an attempt of getting some buzz on the internet with a viral video. That's what I think. That's my opinion. I'd like to think it's just I would like to think it's a blind kind act, but right when they fucking mentioned it's a challenge, some sort of challenge, it's like, well, obviously they're participating in some sort of challenge to try to get some attention.
Yeah.
So that right there sets the whole video up for me. Actually, I didn't know that till just now, but that that helps like solidify that for me. But that's my opinion. I think that it's great that she got money. I think it sucks that if she got fired because of that. I think that was definitely not worth $4,000. Your job's not worth $4,000. We all know how $4,000 would be great, but it doesn't go that far.
What amount of money is your job worth?
I don't know. It's tough. I don't feel like I'm probably gonna answer that on the podcast.
Why not?
I don't know.
I'd probably. What if someone comes up to you tomorrow and offers you that amount of money? I'm kidding.
It would have to be an amount that I could live comfortably for
at least like a year.
Yeah,
I'd probably take like
probably
10 million.
more though, because it's like, oh yeah, 10 million.
I'd take 10 million.
Yeah,
that's about what it would take for me.
Yeah.
Which I know that's being really generous. If someone offered me 5 million, I'd probably be like, that's pretty good too. But
yeah, no, if we're talking millions, 10 million, I wouldn't. It wouldn't, because that's like
that's not even a
invest
question.
that, and it's like, yeah, you'd be good. I was thinking like
hundreds of thousands,
like a more realistic answer, because I was like, well, if I had this certain amount of money, I could probably rebound, have enough time to find another, and like still be okay. I wouldn't want to do that though. That small, it's like not worth starting over and trying to figure your life out. I don't know.
I don't know.
Not
Maybe,
really that. Not that deep.
If I'm being super realistic, I'd probably do 250,000.
It's a fair amount.
Somewhere around
That's
there.
a fair amount.
Because
you start doing the math too, and you're like, well, this is how many.
Well, then you got to think about the taxes that's going to pull out too.
That's true. That's true. That's over half, right?
I think that's 52%.
Yeah.
Well, no. It's not over half, because now we're talking brackets here.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be over 52% overall, but
that would be tough.
It would be a significant.
What if it was a
amount.
tip and it was under the table?
Well, it was cash.
Yeah, as long as they didn't tell the government and try to take it back and be like, oh, look, I just wanted to go to him specifically.
we see that you bought a brand new Tesla.
Yeah.
Where'd you get the money for that? You
gifted waited on a guy.
You make $15 an hour. We know you didn't. You
imagine that, like, somebody goes through and they're trying to give someone money like that, and then they're like, no, look, I didn't know this is how the system worked. I want the tip to go to him directly. I don't want the taxes. I don't want the government to get part of this. Like, sir, that's not how this works.
Does the customer trump the government?
Yeah, exactly. No, they don't. Never. The house always wins, aka the government.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. It's an interesting thing to think about. What about, like, how do you obviously think that they should get the tip? But you can see how that could be
actually, I've come a little over to your side here.
You can see how that could cause a toxic environment a little bit more.
When it comes to the policies, if you're not blindsided, I see where you're going with that, and I agree with that. If you know that tips are pooled at the end of the night, it shouldn't have been a problem.
Right. I feel like I said, I think a company is I would want to probably work for a company like that. I think most companies don't do that though, because I feel like that's more likely.
They don't do individual, or
they don't do individual, because I think that's more likely to cause a toxic environment. Because you think about how many tips every single day, and every single day, I'll use a pro gamer term, RNG, range, the likelihood of getting screwed over or getting lucky or unlucky. And when you're paying your bills with stuff like that, like, I think most people would be more happy with the consistent than getting lucky or unlucky. And I think it would cause very much bitterness. We were talking about waitresses, and if you work at a sports bar or whatever, you should expect that your looks are going to help you with tips and whatever. I mean, imagine working there and you're like,
she only gets big tips because she's got big titties.
Right, imagine you're not the top tier, the one that everyone goes to, and then every day this one's stealing your customers or getting the biggest tips. Like, that would be pretty fucking frustrating, Where like the most ditzy, the worst one is like, just get some fucking rich drunk guy walks in, here's $500, and she's like, just black ass tits.
She's blonde
and she's like dropping drinks all night. She fucking sucks, She's like over pouring the beers, are spilling everywhere, and she gets this big ass tip.
Grabs your tickets.
Yeah, and you're waiting like exactly. You got like 4 tables, and you're fucking scraping up like $40 between the 4 tables, and she's got like a $500 tip. Like, that doesn't really motivate a person either.
Yeah.
That's pretty demoralizing.
You're right.
I don't know. That's the way I see it.
I've come around a little bit.
I've thought about it a little bit more, because I haven't worked in the services. I've helped out like bartending here and there, but I've also seen, especially with dealers. I used to play poker a lot, and you see that, like, you get a really shitty dealer that gives like. And I say shitty because there's a couple different ways a dealer can be shitty.
They actually flip the card number.
Yeah,
sorry about that. And they flip
that happens. Actually.
No way.
No, I swear to God, there's dealers that will accidentally. It is a misdeal, and that's a huge
redeal, right?
Well, that thing is, and you get involved in hands. So you get down to there's 2 people and there's a bunch of money in there, and then they accidentally flip the wrong card, they don't burn a card or something like they're supposed to, and they put the wrong card out, that can cost people lots of money. And what happens is once you have all that money in and everyone has their money in, a lot of times they call the foreman over, and then he has to make a decision of like, they usually won't just misdeal the deal after it's gone so far. He's got to make a decision like what they do. Do they burn another? A lot of times they're like, oh, we're gonna burn another card and then flip another card. Doesn't matter what decision they make. That's gonna affect the outcome of the hand. That it shouldn't have played out the way it is, and whoever loses that hand is potentially could lose because of the dealer. And that happens too. Like if it's before the hand, and then like say I've seen it happen to get kings or something, and then they're dealing on like oops, and they flip someone's card. What they normally do is actually they don't misdeal it. They just use that card as the burn card. I'm getting too pokery, but a burn card is just the card that they discard before they flip the first three, or then they discard a card every streak, basically. Yeah. Still, you're affecting the hand. That card should have went, say it was a king, it's not going to that person anymore, they're getting another card. And that's two. Yeah, exactly. That happens a lot. So that's one aspect of a bad dealer. I think that's the biggest flaw is like when they can't read hands properly. I've seen that happen where they've tried to push pots to other people. Yeah. Or they grab people's cards that weren't
because they didn't see a straight
or something like that. Or like they have chips in front of them. I've seen people like grab their cards and throw them away because they didn't see the person's chips or whatever. Then they blame them. Oh, you should have been protecting your hand. That's like probably the worst dealer. But then when I mean bad dealer, I also mean that's the worst. But like just bad personality. Like they're just assholes. Like they don't have any customer service. You know, it's not required, but it's helpful.
You should. Yeah.
You should.
Could you imagine being like a dealer on the ESPN poker tournaments and like actually fucking up on the card? Like
it actually has happened. It happens. I mean, it happens all the time. In the main events, they don't show those as much. Wow. But I've seen them happen on big hands. If you look, if I was to bring it up, like maybe next episode, I'll bring up misdeals.
I was about to bring it up, but yeah, we're pretty late.
You will find them, and if you write them down for next week because there's a lot, and there's also things about like you've heard of table talk before, right? It's really frowned upon. So table talk is like you talk about hand when you're in a hand. And that is borderline when you're in a hand. You're just like, oh, this guy, I think you've got this, you know? And that can be questionable when you're in the hand, but most of the time it's acceptable. But if you're not in the hand involved and you're table talking, that's super, super bad. Like, you're just sitting here, you fold it out, and you're watching these two people play, and you're like, this guy bets 500. He's like, oh, well, he bet 500 last time he was on a flush draw. Or you make comments about the hand that influence the hand, and that guy's like, yeah, you're right. And he calls him and he's bluffing. That guy's going to be fucking furious because you just ruined his hand. You influenced the hand, and you can get in trouble for that as well. Which makes sense. Like, you're not supposed to be influenced. You're not technically cheating, but you kind of are.
It's not okay.
It's not okay because you're talking someone into doing something that they wouldn't do.
It's a thin line.
Yeah. So there's a lot of etiquette in poker. Maybe we'll talk about poker. It's another episode, but there's a lot of interesting things like misdeals and stuff too that happen. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we should probably wrap it up. We've been going for a bit, but this has been good because we've missed a couple episodes.
Well, we had a 4-hour episode 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you're right. So that made up for the other episode. I forgot about that.
All right, everybody.
That was hell.
Thank you for popping in, listening, watching, masturbating. I don't care what you do to it, but I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
Next week, episode 44.
44. Sure. Yeah, it's like it's a MILF age, I think. Pretty good MILF age.
We'll get the details figured out, and I'll post it on my story 10 minutes before we stream, because that's what I always do.
Yeah. I didn't even post anything today. But we'll get things back on track. You're missing out on our biggest thing. You forget? Has it been that long?
Oh,
how do we end the show?
Shit. So, this 86-year-old woman was caught shoplifting. And
what was she lifting? Her chest?
We're getting there. And so she's in the courtroom, and she stole a can of peaches.
Can she be 44? 43?
No, she has to be old.
Okay.
She has to be senile.
All right. Okay.
So the judge, he said, "What did you steal, ma'am?"
Peaches.
And she goes, "I stole a can of peaches."
Okay.
And he said, "How many peaches were in the can?" And she goes, 6. And he's like, "All right, well, I think a fair punishment will be 1 day in jail for each peach. She gets 6 days in jail." And then her husband stands up and he says, "Excuse me, Your Honor, And the judge goes, "What is it, sir?" And he goes, "She also stole a can of peas."
That's good. Can of peas. Thanks, guys, for joining us. We will be back next week for sure.
Make sure to like.
We'll let you know 10 minutes in advance, so you'll be prepared.
In the meantime, follow us on Twitter.
Yeah, follow us on YouTube.
From there,
Follow us.
Don't really get on Twitter that much.
Follow us
to
in
be
our
honest.
lives. Follow
Follow me to
I'll
work.
break check you and don't be pissed.
Yeah.
I'll drop my oil slick.
Bye.